Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, that is Learn with Shweta Malhotra. So in the previous video we have discussed about what is method, different type of methods, how we can declare, define and call the methods. So today in this video we'll discuss the next type, that is parametric method. So how we can create the parametric method and which type of the parameters we can pass within the methods. So let's get started. So here I have created a class with the name parametric methods, and let me create just one method here, and we can create the static method for now, and we can just keep it the name get user name. Okay, so here we have to use the camel case. Naming convention is very important, so always start the method with the lowercase letter. So this is our static method. This is created by user, so we can say this is user defined method, and here we will pass the parameters, so known as the parametric method. Okay, so as of now these parentheses are blank, and this is the non-parametric method. And if let's say I'm printing something, let's say I'm using learn with SM, right? I just want to print this statement. So how we can print the statement? If let's say you are trying to execute the code, the console will be blank because there will be no output, because execution always starts from the main method, and in main method we are not calling any method. So in that case, if you want to print this statement, firstly we need to call the method. So just keep in mind, if you want to print any statement of a method, we need to call the method first. Okay, so this is the static method. In static area we are directly calling it, and if you're trying to execute the code, and here we can see the output, that is learn with SM. Second thing, let's say you want to take the value from the user, right, and or you want to replace the value, you want to print something according to your requirement, then how we can print that? The first option is you can go to this method and make the changes over there. Let's say hello world, you can make the changes within this method, but again this is not the recommended way. We want to make it dynamic. We want to take the value from the user and just print the same value. Okay, so for the time being, just I'm passing the value here. In this I have changed the statement, that is the hello world, but if let's say I want to print this value testing, so how we can print that? So whatever the value you want to print, whatever the statement you want to print, we have to pass the value within these parentheses. Okay, so now here just you need to understand which type of the values you are passing. If you are using the double quotes, that means we are passing string type value. Okay, if let's say you are passing integer type value, that means we are passing integer type value, right? So whatever the value you are passing over there, so within the method, in these round brackets, you have to create the same type of variable, kind of the container, where in which container of the variable we can hold the value, we can store the value. Okay, so for this method, if let's say we are passing the string type value, so we have to create a variable with the name string type. We have to create a variable of type string. Okay, so if let's say we are passing the integer type value, so again let me just create the another method for better understanding. So I'm again creating the same method, because here I have written the get username, but now this time we are passing the integer type value, so here we have to use int. Okay, so what it will do, in this value variable, if you are printing this plus value, so that will print the value of string type, right? So let me just, here again I have created the another method with the different argument, with the different type of argument, that is 100. So here it will check which method having the argument of integer type, so this method. So 100, that will be stored in this particular variable, that is value, and if you are using the this value variable within the method, so it will print 10. Okay, so don't confuse over here. Here you can keep the method's name different also, right? Why we can keep these methods same, why it is not showing us the error? Because in these arguments we are using the different type of variables. If you are creating the same methods with the same parameters with the same type of argument, so here it will showing the compilation error, because within the one single class we can't create the two methods with the same declaration. Same declaration mean to say with the same name, with the same number of argument and same type of argument, that is not possible. Okay, but if the method name is same but in the parentheses the values are different, count of the parameters are different, so that is possible and we can create and keep the method name same. Okay, so here let's execute the code, and here you can see we are calling the method and that is printing. So over here we are passing the value, right? So if you want to check the execution of the part, if you press the control key and click on the method, it will jump to that particular method and it will execute the statement. So here the statement is a hello world, and in the value variable the value is testing, because in this method we are passing the testing value. And in case of the second method we are using 100, and press the control key, click on this method, it will jump to this get username, and here we are using the integer type variable. So in the value it will store the 100 value and will print hello world 100. Okay, so here you can create the different type of method with the different name and with the different number of parameters. So this concept is known as a parametric method, where we can pass a number of parameters. So in this case we have created the static method, so you pass either the float type variable or the primitive data type you can pass as a variable. Secondly, you can also pass the array type argument, you can also pass the string type argument, and you can also pass the object of class. So we can write here get boolean value. Okay, so if let's say you are calling this method and passing some boolean value like true and false, so that will store in this particular variable, and if you are trying to execute that, and it will print boolean value true. If you are changing the value with false, and it will print false value. See? Okay, so you can pass float, double, long, int, byte, short, any type of the values you can pass over here and use those values within the method according to your requirement.